Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Darlington Raceway for race 13 on season 3 of the NRSL Aces Republic of Gamers Truck Series. This is the first race of round 2. Only 7 drivers remain in the playoff hunt. Eliminated last week at Papyrus was Audra Baranauskas, Freddie Soto, and Jesse Turner. The remaining 7 in the playoff championship hunt are all rookie drivers. Henry Sanford and Adam Flickinger with 2 wins each on the season. Austin Mendez, Logan York, Patrick Smith, and Adam Garcia with 1 win apiece. And Larry Hagan, who has no wins on the season. If we look at the other statistics, everyone's pretty even on the top 5s. Hagan only has the 1. Everyone else is a split between 2 and 3 top 5s. But if we look at the top 10s, Hagan's got 6 of those. Garcia only with 2, Smith only with 3, and Adam Flickinger only with 3. Also having 6 top 10s with Hagan is Austin Mendez and Henry Sanford. And take note, Henry Sanford has missed 2 super speedway races. Since Sanford is in this round, he will be racing at Pensacola, and Charles Sanford will be sitting on top of the pit box. Let's get to your starting lineup for today's 74-lap event. Jack James and Matthew Brown are on the front row. Brown starting to qualify really well. Bit of a hot streak. Row 2, Austin Alves and Peter Onjak. Row 3, we have Joshua Osborne and Seth Cole. Row 4 is Dylan Young and Adam Garcia. And in row 5, Alexander Rowe and Freddie Soto. Let's see, row 6. Row 7, we have Austin Mendez. Row 8, Larry Hagan. Row 9. Row 10, now Nico Tringali is actually going to drive all the remaining races for the 25 team. 25 team told their rookies, Benjamin Ice and Lucas Catano, that they want to get Nico some extra track time since he is in the playoffs for the Cup Series. Back here, there's Adam Flickinger. Charles Jackson going to drive the 4 today. There's Logan York. Johnny Gardner in the 3 truck tonight. Patrick Smith, Henry Sanford on row number 15. No, wait. 17. Gardner won at this track in Cup back in 2017. So 74 laps of racing. We'll see if we get our 11th different winner on the season. Let's go trackside.
Y'all come say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
This command was given. The trucks have never been to this track, so that is an interesting thing to note. As a reminder, only 4 drivers advance after this race round, so we're losing another 3 in trucks and another 4 in Cup. And the silly season news is really starting to mount. Past week, a bunch of drivers were contacted regarding 2020, and a lot of those drivers are not returning. Now, I'm not talking about the Truck Series, but I'm talking about the Cup Series. Those details will be released during the broadcast for the regular season finale for the Cup Series, and everyone will know who is and who is not returning. But for now, let's focus on the Darlington truck race. Jack James, Matthew Brown leads them down to the start-finish line. Green flag is out. 74 laps of action. So far, so good for Jack James. Austin Alves up to second. Osborne up to third. Dylan Young moving up to fourth. Looks like turns 1 and 2 will be bottom line preferred as Peter Onjak and Matthew Brown get held up. That's going to allow Young and the others to gap them, as Alves will make a move on James into turn 3. This will hold up these drivers, so it looks like it's going to be a lot of back and forth yo-yoing. James tries to get the run off the corner, but unable to really stick it up there in 1-2. Alves, Osborne, and Dylan Young will pass 5-4 position. As Adam Garcia up in 6th place. Last week's winner, Bobo Jones, in 8th. Trying to get into the top 10, Colt Hudson, James Ellison. As Matthew Brown continues to plummet from his 2nd place starting position. We didn't talk about it, but the battle is still on for that top non-chaser spot. 11th in the points. Joshua Osborne leads it at the moment, but we know he will not be driving the truck at Pensacola. So Osborne trying to get as many points as he can today. Tyler Markle's 2nd in that bracket. Hudson 3rd, Ellison 4th, Bobo Jones 5th. Then Rowe, Ibrahimian, Onjak, Cage, and Bishop. That's the 11th to 20th in the standings. So we're seeing a lot of split up packs due to the way turns 1 and 2 makes the driver getting past slow down. Ellison up to 9th, Hartnett up to 10th. Seth Cole, Ibrahimian. Wow, Adam Flickinger's made it up to 13th. Larry Hagan right behind him, looking for 14th at the start finish line. He doesn't get it, but he'll get it into turn 1. Looking farther back for the other drivers, there's Patrick Smith and Austin Mendez. They're way back here. There's Henry Sanford, Logan York. And that's it right there. Battle for the lead, though. Austin Alves took it from Jack James earlier, and now Dylan Young will take the top spot. As they start lap 7, Jack James will pass Alves for 2nd place. Osborne will look to go by for 3rd. Onjak would be looking for 4th. Bobo Jones rides in line in 5th. That's going to give the bottom to Colt Hudson. I'm sorry, 6th place is Bobo Jones. There's now a lot of people will be stuck to the top, and it will be Alves, Jones, and Hartnett. James Ellison had a strong performance going at Papyrus, but they tried to do some weird pit strategy thing, and instead they got a poor finish. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Alves to 6th place, put Colt Hudson in the top 5, put Peter Onjak up to 4th. As the top 3, Young, James, and Osborne lead the field. Dylan Young has won at least one truck race each year. It seems to be the only thing he's good at. Young, pretty mediocre in the Cup Series every year. He hasn't won any races yet in his career. He's been on the verge of some here and there, pretty much every season. But he has not won yet in his career, and he pretty much finishes in about the mid-20s in standings each year. Here in the Truck Series. Seems to be his domain. Won at Atlanta in 2017. He won at Atlanta and Oswego, I think, last year. But he has yet to win anywhere this year. And now we're seeing tire wear coming into play here. And these trucks are starting to calm down. It might not be for long, though, as the pack led by Peter Onjak closes in from fourth on back. Seth Colin to 9th, Adam Flickinger 10th, Hagen is 11th. Garcia's down to 22nd, I believe, or no, 21st, something like that. Henry Sanford, Patrick Smith, and Logan York are not having good days. Neither is Austin Mendez. So they got to work on that. It is a decently long race for a track like this. Dylan Young continues to lead the group, and now they've got everyone right there, as it looks like Jack James and Peter Onjak are going to make moves into turn 3. And Young will get the run off of turn 4. This is where tire wear kind of helps the top line. Young will pull back down in line. He got him as Bobo Jones takes 7th from James Ellison. Seth Cole and Adam Flickinger will creep up to his back bumper. As now Jack James has been put to the outside for 2nd by Joshua Osborne, and it looks like he might have got enough. We'll see what this does. James will lose 1, 2, 3 more positions, maybe 4. But Jack James will go from top 5 to almost completely out of the top 10 once he gets back to the 16, as Bobo Jones goes to the inside of Austin Alves. You get everyone behind you in a single file line, you lose so many positions so fast. As even now Adam Flickinger gets put to the top by Larry Hagen. Top 2 breakaway between Dylan Young and Joshua Osborne. Onjak creeping up from 3rd, Hudson up to 4th. Jones up to 5th, Ellison 6th. Seth Cole trying to take 7th from Austin Alves. It looks like he might clear him, and Alves will. Jack James still not so lucky. So Alexander Rowe, Gatlin Downey, and Emmanuel Hartnett have caught up. James will now fall in line in 14th, ahead of Freddie Soto, one of the eliminated drivers. He's got Jesse Turner behind him. Those drivers will still be fighting for what will eventually become 5th in the points. Alexander Rowe gets passed back, so Jack James not wasting much time. He's got a fast truck, it seems. Seth Cole's been put to the top side. That's allowed the top 6 to pull away. Bobo Jones is going to make a move on Colt Hudson for 4th. That will slow him up. That'll allow Ellison to get to his quarter panel. But Hudson's going to get the run off the corner. So Hudson manages to just lose 1 position instead of 2. You should expect pit stops around lap 40, maybe a little later. This fall off has already exceeded a 2nd. Ellison, you can see peaking on the quarter panel. We're getting a bunch of little two truck draft packs. Drivers try and draft their way back up to others. You can see Onjak and Jones aren't really gaining anything on Young and Osborne. They're definitely going faster down certain sections of the straightaway, though. Alves holding on to 7th. Hagen's up to 8th. Flickinger back up to 9th as Seth Cole fell to 10th. And Jack James is going to be looking to get that 10th place position back. At the top side right now because the tire wear is just so strong. Hartnett will make a move on Rowe, and that'll send Rowe back several positions. So put Hartnett into 12th. Just going through the rest of the field. Adam Garcia in 19th. Henry Sanford 22nd. Logan York 23rd. That's not terrible, but that's not great either. Patrick Smith and Austin Mendez are having the worst nights out of everyone in the playoffs. But we've been green and clean so far. No one has been able to get by Dylan Young since he took the lead. Osborne's just been right on his bumper the whole time. As Bobo Jones creeping up in 3rd place. And Bobo Jones on a rocket ship. Ellison up to 4th. Onjack has fallen to 5th and Colt Hudson to 6th. So it looks like Tyler is hitting that point where we're really getting our comers and goers because Bobo Jones is flying right now. We haven't had anybody in trucks go back-to-back this season. It's happened once each year. It happened, Alexander Rowe went back-to-back in 2017, and James Qualls went back-to-back last year. Time's running out to go back-to-back this season, so, man, that 2 truck is fast. Wants to set himself up in the right corners. Ellison up to 4th. Another good day, possibly, as long as the strategy team doesn't screw it up. See, Bobo Jones is peaking. This has become a bit of a 4-truck breakaway. Even Ellison is creeping up here, but Onjack is going nowhere. Adam Flickinger's up to 7th. Hagen 8th. As Jack James battles Austin Alves for what I believe is 7th place. Actually, Alves has fallen, so put Flickinger 6th, Hagen 7th. So man, Jack James fell all the way outside the top 10, and he's worked his way back up there. Gatlin Downey makes a move on Colt Hudson. Thought I heard something. So Onjack's just kind of in no man's land. He's not gaining anything. He's just losing time every lap. We'll see if Adam Flickinger or Hagen close in on him at all. So it's Ellison, Jones, Osborne, and Dylan Young, 4th to 1st. As Bobo Jones is going to make a move for 2nd here into turn 3. That's going to cause a gap from Dylan Young as Osborne gets the run off the corner. Tires just too worn. You got to make the move in turn 1, but that has split up the top 4 once again. And we'll see if any of them can get a decent draft run going. Fall off is closing in on 2 seconds to fresh rubber. And there you can see Osborne really getting a good run. Bit of a Chevy plan there. You know, there is only the one Ford up here. Can Osborne make a move for the lead? No, he cannot. It's going to allow Jones and Ellison to close back up in 3rd and 4th yet again. And Jones is going to make another move for 2nd place into turn 3. Well, he gets a little farther this time. He's pretty much even with the 10. But off the corner, Osborne has the draft of the 29 and the assistance of the 20. So these 3 again will fall behind Dylan Young a little bit. They'll try to see if they can get any draft runs going. It just looks like you have to try and get the run going into turn 1 at this point in tire wear. So at the end of the race, it might be very difficult to pass. It seems after about 10 laps, passing becomes more strenuous. Osborne closing in on the 29 again. Bobo Jones may be trying to set himself up for turn 1 next time by. And one thing that could shake it up is if Osborne made a move in turn 3. Top 4 still single file, bumper to bumper. On Jack slowly falling back to Adam Flickinger in 6th. And Bobo Jones makes the move in turn 1 on Osborne. That'll allow him to move to 2nd and Ellison to move into 3rd. Look at the rest of the top 10. James, Downey, and Hartnett 8th, 9th, and 10th. Flickinger closes in on Jack, so Osborne will fall to 4th. Bobo Jones made the move for 2nd place. Can he make the move for the lead here? No, not yet. Ellison sits in 3rd. Let's see what our first run fastest lap. Oh, it is by the 2 truck, a 28.786. Adam Flickinger 2nd on that board. Dylan Young's not even in the top 10. As pit stops will begin, Jones will stay out here on lap 34. Dylan Young, Ellison, and Osborne elect to come down. So judging by the lap these drivers are pitting on, they're all going to have to pit again. We'll probably see them pit again around laps. I'm gonna say 65 to 68. I'm gonna call it a little early because they've done that all season where they pit the longest they can go, and then they end up pitting at a shorter time the next time by. Bobo Jones will come down pit road leading group 2 as Gatlin Downey and Emmanuel Hartnett stay out. These drivers are going to hurt themselves at the moment, but they'll have the freshest tires around. And when it's hard to pass in 3 and 4, you want that, but you're giving up a lot of track position. Downey and Hartnett will pit. Rowe, Alves, Soto also stayed out. Gardner, Patrick Smith and Henry Sanford on the strategy, as is Austin Mendez. And that'll do it up. There goes Bobo Jones. There's Dylan Young's truck. And there he goes by the 2 truck is Dylan Young. So Young will take the lead back. Ellison 2nd from the looks of it. As after the completion of lap 37, we will be halfway through this race. As Dylan Young hits the start finish line, we'll begin our top 10 rundown. Dylan Young cycles back into the race lead. 2nd is James Ellison. 3rd, Joshua Osborne. 4th, Bobo Jones. 5th, Adam Flickinger. 6th, Jesse Turner. 7th, Jack James. 8th, Larry Hagan. 9th, Seth Cole. And 10th is Dylan Ibrahimian. So Bobo Jones only fell to 4th place, and he's in draft. And you'll see everyone just kind of draft their way back up towards the leader since he has no help. So Ellison will be the one to get there first. Actually, Osborne's probably going to catch the 20 first. They're all going to have to pit again, so the interesting thing I'm wondering is it going to be a fuel-only stop at the end of the race? That's what I'm wondering. Is it going to be fuel only, or are we going to see right sides, left sides? You know, what's? I'm wondering what the consensus will be at a track like this. So you can see the entire running order is just creeping back up with draft towards Dylan Young. They're all spread out. They're not really on each other's bumpers that much, so they're not passing a lot. It's allowing them all to close up towards the leader, as Ellison and Osborne have made it to the bumper of Dylan Young. No one was able to pass him during the first run of the race once he got to the lead. Will that change now? With Bobo Jones in fourth, Turner, Jack James, Hagan, Seth Cole, Adam Flickinger, D-Line Ibrahim, that's the top 10. There's Gatlin Downey. Now this is the man with the freshest tires, highest on the running order on the racetrack. And I tell you what, if one thing makes the strategy more worthwhile, it's the fact that you know draft is going to help you catch back up in a truck. I'm going to at the bottom of the running order, Austin Mendez 33rd, Sanford 31st, York 30th. All those drivers pit late too. Patrick Smith not doing that much better in 28th. So Adam Flickinger is getting passed by Ibrahimium for 9th. Looks like Flickinger will end up falling to 12th here. As Bobo Jones has made it to the back of James Ellison. Osborne had made the pass for 2nd. As this time by, it'll be 30 laps to go. Here at Darlington, it looks like we're in for a clean finish race. So Ellison falling back in 3rd, Jones closing in 4th. Remember, Jones has 1 lap fresher tires. He's going to have that minuscule amount of grip that lets him go 1 to 2 miles an hour faster in the corner. Especially something like this. You can see he's already going faster than Ellison. So let's go on border lap with Bobo Jones. Let's lap around Darlington. They're catching somebody in front of them. Someone who had a poor pit stop. Well, it's the 4 of Charles Jackson, I believe. Not having a good night. Here's a pack of trucks. Mendez stuck back here in 33rd. Henry Sanford 30th. Logan York 29th. Patrick Smith 26th. They're not doing that much better. Garcia has fallen to 23rd. That's 5 of the 7 outside the top 20. So if anyone's really benefiting right now, it's Adam Flickinger in 11th. And Larry Hagan in 6th. He was in 6th, now he's down to 7th. Maybe he might fall more, but they're doing pretty good right now. We've gotten to the point where tire wear has started to creep in. Will anyone be able to make a move on Dylan Young now that that's occurred? We know the 29, 10, and 20 pit on the same lap, and the 2 pit 1 lap later. The 2 definitely shows his speed later in the run. The This top 4 has broken away from the rest of the field. If they catch up, it'll get interesting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Osborne's going for the lead here on lap 50. Ellison and Jones will fly by, and Dylan Young down to 4th place. Young definitely got to lead the most laps tonight, but he will have to do some work if he wants to get back up front. You can see Jones had to lift a little bit to get by him at the exit of turn 2. But Joshua Osborne, who's been looking for that first Truck Series win all season, commands the point. Jack James 5th, Seth Cole 6th, and others. Gatlin Downey's up to 9th. If anyone can lead this train up to the top 4, it could be that 63 truck. So the 10 of Joshua Osborne leads. Ellison running in 2nd, looking at his best performance all year long. Bobo Jones drafting back up to the back of the 20. Dylan Young right on his bumper. As we have 22 laps of racing remaining and about 12 laps from that second pit window. Is there any way the rest of the field will close up to the leaders? Downey still riding in 9th. Hagan has fallen to 10th. Here's your top 2 playoff drivers, 10th and 11th. And as we mentioned, Adam Garcia down to 24th. Actually, no, he's fallen out to 28th. As Patrick Smith, 24th place, and Henry Sanford up to 27th. Good amount of playoff drivers at the back that aren't going to get a lot of points, and they'll be the ones who end up being in danger at Pensacola next week. As Jesse Turner's trying to get a position on Seth Cole. Seth Cole clears him, but Downey's able to get a run and get by Donovan Cage for 8th. And that'll send Cage back to Hagan. Jack James trying to reel in the top 4. He's just a few tenths outside that draft line. Oh, but now he's losing ground again. Osborne in a commanding lead. Under 20 laps to go. And the big question will just remain is, when do you pit on that strategy? Could you short pit right now, take 4 tires, and make up the 10 seconds you're going to lose? What do you do? Osborne still leading. Bobo Jones peaking for 2nd. Remember, Jones pit a lap later than these 3. And they're catching Charles Jackson. They might get draft off that 4 truck. And Bobo Jones will make the move on Ellison for 2nd. That's going to give a gap between him and the 10. And then Young. Ooh, Young couldn't get by Ellison in time, and this is going to make it really interesting. These 2 might fall back to 4th. To fifth place driver Jack James. They're single filed up. Young is really struggling to pass James Ellison. And that just opened the door, and that is not what Jones or Osborne wanted to see happen. Now Young completes the pass for third, but the damage has been done. Jack James and others have made it into draft range. And Downey, who's on the freshest tires, could have a chance to take this lead before the second round of pit stops. Osborne leading as Jones tries to inch his way back up to the front. And indeed, Jack James and others in the draft. It was bound to happen eventually. "13 laps to go. Bobo Jones creeping up to the bumper. Joshua Osborne, Young by himself. Ellison's got a pack of hungry trucks coming up to him. They're all streamlined right now. Pit strategy will certainly change that in about 6 laps. Looks like Osborne is able to hold off Bobo Jones as Jack James and others make their move by James Ellison. 1 truck down, 3 to go. It would certainly matter if they could all make it, but since they're all going to have to pit, I'm not sure what's exactly going to happen. Ellison's going to hold off Donovan Cage, so he'll only fall down to 7th. Downey up to 6th, Turner 5th, and James in 4th. Man, if Turner didn't get eliminated, he'd be looking pretty good right now. But sadly, he did get eliminated. Osborne still leading. Bobo Jones not closing in on the 10 truck. And now it's a single file line of 6. 10 to go that time at the start finish line. Can anybody track down Joshua Osborne? Ever since he passed Dylan Young, he has been unreachable. Jack James looking to the inside of Dylan Young in turn 3. Is that the corner to make this move in? James gets 0 assistance. Downey started peaking on Turner. Now that allows a gap to Jones. Ellison has fallen down to 10th. The pit window should be open. If drivers take tires, if you're up front, you want to pit and take tires now. Jones losing almost another 10th. It's a hungry pack of trucks still right on their tail. So Ellison falls to 10th. Adam Flickinger has fallen to 13th. Patrick Smith moving up to 21st. Henry Sanford going nowhere. Same with Logan York. Garcia's fallen to 30th. And Mendes is 35th. No one from the top 6 pit that lap. They're all just stuck in a train behind Joshua Osborne. It's kind of amazing that he's been able to just keep that gap the way it is over Bobo Jones. Oh, here we go. Here comes strategy. Jones stays out. James, Turner, and Downey. Osborne and Dylan Young will be the first 2 to pit. So let's see what kind of strategy they're going to employ at 6 to go. Dylan Young gets to his pit stall first. Right side's up. Same for Osborne. Fuel and away. Go, 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 go. As the next pack, the trucks stay out. Where's the 2 of Bobo Jones? Oh, he actually had fallen to 3rd. Jack James will pit. Downey stays out. So does the 2 truck. I have a decent consensus of what strategy will be like. But Gatlin Downey, how about the man who's done terrible in Cup this season, leading here in the Truck Series? But does he have to pit? I'm really be surprised if he's able to stretch this tank to the end. Bobo Jones will pit. Hartnett will stay out. Man, this has turned into a great run for Patrick Smith. Sanford's pitting. So Downey and Hartnett still on the racetrack among a handful of others. Coming to 3 to go. Downey pits. Hartnett pits. Patrick Smith pits. Austin Alves is going to stay out. We saw something like this last year at Denver where it looked like it was going to be a 2-stop race, but one truck was able to stretch it on 1 stop to the finish. Is that going to be Austin Alves here at Darlington? I mean, it certainly looked like everyone was going to have to pit. He's the only driver to stay out. And he's going to try and go for it. Fuel strategy at Darlington, and the 22's the only one staying on the track. White flag in the air. And in what would be his, in what will be his only truck season, he's looking at a possible W. Into turn 3. Out of turn 4. Austin Alves wins at Darlington. My goodness. And he is running out of gas, man. He stretched it just enough. He laps the whole field with this strategy. But there you see, if he had pit, your race winner would have been Gatlin Downey. But would have been is not what has happened. Austin Alves with this insane strategy. Reminiscent of Denver last year. Wow, what a finish. I was not expecting one truck to stay out. I'll tell you that much. That was not what I was expecting at all. So Austin Alves becomes the 11th different winner on the season. He joins Nate Rogers as a Cup winner in the Truck Series. So let's go through the rest of the finishing results. My hand's falling asleep for some reason. Gatlin Downey second, best finish for him I think on the Truck Series season and maybe on the year overall. Bobo Jones third on a hot streak. Manuel Hartnett fourth, Donovan Cates fifth, Osborne sixth, Hagan top playoff driver finishes seventh. Jack James eighth, Tyler Markle ninth, and Delon Ibrahimian finishing in 10th. Dylan Young, despite leading all those laps, will end up in 12th. And let's find the rest of your playoff drivers. Patrick Smith second out of the field in 15th. Adam Flickinger 18th. And Henry Sanford 24th. So those were the top 4. The bottom 3 on the day. Logan York 28th. Adam Garcia 31st. And Austin Mendez 34th. With that said, truck race is done, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Cup race.